red flag laws, period, just based on knowledge, not on a parent saying or a loved one saying you should arrest this person now for his own sake, is ridiculous. We got one of the first red flag laws in the state of Delaware. My son Bo was the one enforcing it, and it made a lot of difference. It saves lives. So that's number one. Number two, the idea we still allow semi-automatic weapons to be purchased is sick. It's just sick. It has no social redeeming value. Zero, none. Not a single solitary rationale for it except profit for the gun manufacturer.
Can you do anything about gun laws during the lame duck, sir?
I'm going to try.
Just wanted to ask a quick follow-up. The president has said repeatedly that, of course, he wants to ban assault weapons, but on Thanksgiving, when he was in Nantucket, he said, quote, "The idea we still allow semi-automatic weapons to be purchased is sick." Obviously, that's a huge category of guns, from rifles to pistols to shotguns, that are not assault weapons. So I guess my question here is, did the president misspeak, or does he in fact want to ban all semi-automatic guns that are?
No, he was talking about assault weapons. That's what he was talking about on that morning or that afternoon when he was asked that question.
Thank you.
Okay.
The president said last week that he was going to try to ban assault weapons during this session. What does that look like? Is he making calls? Is he taking meetings on this? Has he tasked the team with working on this? And does he think that 60 votes are actually possible here? That's within reach somehow?
So I'm so glad you asked the question, Mary, because this morning when I was in the Oval Office in a meeting with the president, he actually brought this up himself because he knows how his comments were reported over the weekend. And he wanted to be very clear, and he said that, he believes that it's important to keep this issue in banning assault weapons at the front of minds of Americans. He believes that it is also up to him as President of the United States to make the case for why it is critical to move forward with assault weapons ban. And so he understands what's at stake. He wants the American people to continue to understand what's at stake. We know many communities have felt this very deeply, very personally, and he also believes, there were families this past Thanksgiving holiday who looked around their table and there were missing members of their family because of this gun violence, this horrific gun violence that we have seen as recently as this weekend, as recently as just last week. And he believes that they deserve for him to continue to talk about this, continue to put this out there about the importance of getting this done for American communities. But again, look, we understand it's an uphill battle. We understand that this is not easy. He gets that, but doesn't mean that he's going to stop fighting for it or that he's going to stop talking about it.
You mentioned earlier about how passing an assault weapons ban would be an uphill battle, especially given the breakdown in Congress. I wonder if there are other things the president is considering, whether it's executive authority or calling on state governors to take action at the state level. What are some of the other things that the president's considering?
Well, so let me just first state, I get your question, but let me just first state a couple of things. Number one, this president has taken more executive action his first year and a half on dealing with gun violence than any other president. And that shows his commitment and what he has been able to do and wanting to make sure to protect our communities. And so just want to be very clear on that. And let's not forget, just a couple of months ago, there was a bipartisan legislation on protecting our communities to really deal with the effects of gun violence. And so that is something that happened. That was the first time we were able to see that type of legislation in 30 years. So again, I have said this, the president is an optimist, but he also understands that he sees that as his responsibility to continue to make the case. I don't have anything else to preview as to any additional executive action that will be taken from here. But again, we have seen action on this during his presidency that we hadn't seen in 30 years.